How's everybody doing, and welcome to the fish room. Today's video we're going to go through and look at some of my purple painted Delta Guppies. Kind of a project I'm working on, but they're starting to look really nice. I have a lot of adults to show you. Let's kick it off. First day of spring. Happy spring, everyone. Weather's getting warmer, shipping fish again. Check out my website at biancosfish.com. Got a lot of stuff available right now. I have to update my pictures and my pricing, but you can still go to my website, check out some of my older stuff, contact me. You can just email me directly at biancosfish@gmail.com. But let's go ahead and take a look at some guppies and some things going on in the fish room. Just did a water change on this tank here. So I'm in the middle of my water change week, so I've been splitting up into these tanks over here. I do them all one day, then I do the rest of the 20s and the 10s today, and then tomorrow will be the 40s, and then all my black wrought iron stands, which are more 10s, 29s, and 55s. But taking a look at the tank, so I started this project. I've been breeding these guys for a few years now, but they've been the purple Delta. Purple just meaning their color, Delta meaning their tail type. The Delta is the long squared off tail, so that's what Delta means whenever you see that for guppies. And then painted is, I was getting splashes of color in this strain and I really liked it, so I wanted to keep working with that. So I added a young trio in here on November 23, and I got some babies in December. So let's go ahead and take a look. This was one of the parents. His color is very vague and it kind of faded out. See his spine right there and the top of his fin. Really cool, like yellow, and it was a lot more as a baby. But we can see some of his babies growing out now. You still have that squared off tail somewhere like a purple Delta. This guy up here's got some orange on his side, which is really cool. So if I can maintain the body size in this strain, I'm gonna kind of let the color go crazy on some of them. So I'm picking out some pairs today, moving into another tank. We can keep looking at these for another minute because they are really cool. They're in a top tank, and that guy's almost gonna be like snake skin in his tail. So I'm not real picky on having a pure strain, as in producing the same color every time. I definitely want healthy fish and colorful fish. That's always been my goal, and I'm kind of not gonna follow what everyone else is doing, even though I know people breed fish like this already, but it's my goal, it's not an accident. And there are some really cool males in here. I think it's a cool strain, and I'm gonna keep working with it, keep improving it. I don't wanna lose all the purple. I had one guy in here that was pretty cool. This one's got a lot of yellow here. So I don't know if I want to breed them, but it's just a really cool fish. Some of the outcomes that you can get whenever you're breeding these purple painteds. We'll follow him for a second, let it focus in if we can. But you know, guppies are moving a ton, and we just lost our timers. But really cool fish. He's got that yellow and then purple trim. So he's really cool. I'm enjoying this tank. I pulled a pair out, and I'll show you those in a minute. But taking a look at the tank next to him, pretty much the same project. I put some of the pregnant females in here, and these are their offspring. Similar results, some more yellows and almost like turquoise. I don't know what color you'd call it. But I'm ready to start separating these guys into males and female sail tanks. That one's more of just a solid purple, which is still really cool. They get a long top fin and back fin. And let's go ahead and take a look at one of these males that I started with. So this tank here, I have 3 fish right now. The big male right to the left there, he was in the middle. He is kind of the original purple Delta. They started to get a little bit of color, but still mostly purple, and that fish just looks awesome. But I went ahead and pulled a male and female out from that first tank we looked at. There's the female, she got some cool colors. And I'm gonna make another pair tank with more of a rounded off tail of a female, but she had really nice color, and I honestly think she was one of the parents. So this way I'm breeding kind of mother to son, not going brother to sister. So it should help diverse their genes, and I already have a couple babies in here I have to pull out from the older pair. The female I moved out already. The male, I did water changes on my, well, I'm about to do water changes on my other male guppy tank. So I'll wait till I do that tomorrow to move him over. I don't want to move him to a dirty tank and then do water changes right away. But this is the male that I selected and pulled out. Really cool color. A lot of the guppies, you gotta see him in person to really appreciate him. But he's got some dark spots on his side. He's got some bright, almost like electric blue in his fin, and his tail is still pretty squared off, and it'll get just as big and long as the father there. So this is kind of my F2. It actually is like an F3 purple project, but second generation of me kind of breeding for the purple painted. So I'll call it an F2 or an F3 and I'll label that, but look at him right there. He's just a super cool fish. And with guppies, what else can you ask for? But a lot of color and a really big tail. This tank's kind of cloudy, but I got some really cool males in here too. Almost more of a blue color, but check out that male right there. And any of these things that you see now, they are for sale. So check out the website, email me, let me know what you want. And if you want to get larger numbers, I'll work with you on the price. The process of catching fish, fasting them for a few days, bagging them, paying for shipping. The pairs and the trios got to be at least like $20 just to make it worth my while. But if you want like 10 guppies, I'm not going to charge you $120 on me. I might just charge you another 10 or 20 bucks. So I'll work with you, and I have a lot right now. And if you heard that and you say it in the email, I know you're watching my video. I definitely like to help out my followers and my subscribers. So those guys are doing pretty good. This tank needs kind of just revamped. Move those guppies out, and check out some of the plecos in here. Making a mess, but looking really good, putting on some size. I got some albinos, some long fins, and some of these guys I'll be holding back, but I'm starting to get enough where I could start selling them. I can't tell you I got 10 long fin albinos for sale, but if you want one or two, I can start to do that as of just recently, because I got some big orders from some pet stores, but they're getting more of the common stuff. I have a lot of these long fin common plecos, and they produce calicos, super red, so they have really cool genetics. I'm going to be doing a video on Bristlenose pleco breeding and kind of the genetics of it, crossing things, what you're going to get. So that would be a cool video. If you guys aren't subscribed, definitely go below the video, subscribe to the channel, and that video will be out here in the future. But let's keep looking. Here is a calico longfin. Really cool fish. I'm not really selling these guys yet. Definitely want to grow them out and breed them to each other. See if I can produce more calicos by breeding them. Sometimes it takes 2 generations of breeding certain color traits to each other to get the same color, just because his parent was not a calico. When you breed calico to calico, or any color to itself, and you produce that same color, you can continue to do that and you'll keep getting the same results. But whenever you start crossbreeding and you get some random really cool colors, whenever you breed those the first time, their babies might be a variety also, because they just carry a deep genetic pull. But very cool fish, kind of cloudy in here. I really just wanted to show you those guppies we already looked at, but while I have you, let's keep looking through the fish room. Got some cool stuff right now and lots of nice babies. This tank is really stirred up right now, but I'm breeding some of my assorted red guppies in here. They have a little bit of a squared off delta tail for most of them, but they're still just an assorted red. They throw a little bit of albino and snake skin, so they're just assorted. I'm not going to tell you it's a pure strain right now. So right now they say they're out of stock on my website. I still got some breeding out, but they're not a pure strain. So there's some really nice red guppies. So pretty cool to work with. You never know what you're going to get. You get some sunsets. And I've been working on them. I have other tanks that are breeding true. This one we're looking at is not at the moment. That's why I'm talking about it. But what I wanted to show you was check out these baby plecos. They're all coming out of the cave. I showed them breeding in an older video, but they bred again because I got a few females in here and they're just leaving the cave, because like that one right there in the middle of the screen, I know it's really blurry and well, cloudy, but that little guy there is older, and then you see the smaller guys, those are brand new. So those are some new Bristlenose plecos, and they're carrying the red gene. You can see the dad hanging out in the cave fanning them till they leave, which as of today they started leaving. So been really feeding them heavy with food to feed all the babies and keep them reproducing. So heavy food and big water changes is definitely the way you want to breed your Bristlenose plecos. And they're just doing really well, and I'm excited to grow these out, but they're very slow growing. This is a pretty cool Bristlenose Pleco sail tank. They're all about an inch long. I got some smaller, but they just cover all the walls. So this is a 40-gallon breeder. I got a few guppies in here, 1 or 2 calls to make, but I put one female in there just to put her in, let her have some babies, and then she did just that. But check out the walls are just covered with, you got your common plecos, some albinos, and I have a few blue eye lemon plecos, and those guys are really cool. I have a few of those available, so if you're looking for some different plecos, something not too expensive, something to start with, something like this would be your bet. And this guy here wouldn't be very expensive, maybe like a $10 fish, and you can tell he's already a male. If you're gonna ask for a breeder male, he's probably gonna be like $20, $25, just because I know if you get a pair for like 50 bucks and they breed for you within a week, you're gonna have plenty of babies to kind of pay for that pair, so they can justify that. Something like that, you know you have a male, but he's not gonna breed for maybe another 2-3 months or so. Just a really full tank of plecos, and they're looking pretty cool right now. Angelfish are doing well also. Got my new sticker on the tank. If you haven't seen my order videos, got my Bianca School Fish logo. I got some stickers made up, so that's pretty cool. I tossed them on some of my notebooks, and I've been putting them in some of my orders. If you order fish online, I'll toss a sticker in there for you. But these guys are pretty cool. I got some kois. They're just starting to show some color because I didn't know if I was going to have any reds. But that guy in the middle of the screen facing us, a little bit blurry, can kind of see him. He's got some yellow and orange in his face, so I do have some like calico, not calico, but you know, not the super red, koi, any of that good stuff, but they're nice crosses. A lot of really nice marbles. These guys are super hardy, and I actually have someone locally picking these all up. Gave him a good deal on each fish, so he asked for a 10-pack, and then he said how much for all of them, so he's picking these up. But I got another tank of angelfish right behind them that are going to look the same, so I'll be starting to sell angelfish on the website too. So they're going to be just assorted angelfish. If you like more solid color, more marbling, or a little bit of I guess you could say red, you can ask for that, but what you see is what you get. It's going to be stuff just like this. Some nice healthy angelfish with a variety of color and for a pretty good price. In my last fish room tour video, I put up a little fry rack. Slowly filling this guy up and just bringing some air lines over from my Tetra 300s. Pretty nice pump, has 2 outlets, and I actually teed it back into a valve right here, so I have 8 different access hoses to it. So whenever I'm really going a few inches deep, I can definitely pump out enough air for that tank. If it was on a big tank and it's going down 10 inches into water, you're not going to get as many air lines. But you can see some rams here. They're doing well. Just hanging out in the container with an air stone. They get brine shrimp, frequent water changes. So check out my order videos. I have a lot of cool germ blue ran breeding how-to videos and just the process of kind of sharing with you. This tank, you can see all the little baby brine shrimp moving around in there, and I got maybe half a dozen to a dozen rams in here. Kind of a small spawn this time, not a lot made it, but the strongest ones will survive, and those are the ones we want to clean their water every single day, large amounts, feeding 4 times a day, stuff like that. It's just very time consuming, unnecessary, and your result is some pretty weak fish. So these guys are doing well. I know they're going to grow up to be nice, healthy, strong rams, and that's the goal. So this spawn I treated the same way. I got a lot better results, and they'll be moving to a 10-gallon here shortly once the tank frees up, and I'll grow them up, and they'll be looking like these guys below us in a few months. After about 3 or 4 months, this is about the size you'll get. They're a little spooked right now. I think I got some breeding activity, so their color should fire up a whole lot more, but every once in a while you'll catch a male in this tank really colored up, like that one there. I know it's going to look a lot nicer, but right now I think they got a little spooked when I turned the lights on. Something's going on, but those are all really nice rams, and they're going to color up a whole lot. Once you separate them into a tank with maybe 6 or 10 rams and maybe even like a pair or trio, they're going to look a lot nicer, and just like their parents, which I'll show also. This is the breeder tank, and I actually did a water change on these guys about 10 minutes ago, and they're showing some breeding behavior. So we might see that on camera, and we're gonna get some really nice color hopefully. I got a male right here, and that's kind of what they'll typically look like. They'll fire up even a little bit more sometimes. And we got a female and another male there, so she's definitely ready to breed. I actually think her tube is down, and they're probably both kind of guarding her area because they both want to breed with her. But that's what you typically would get in a German Blue Ram, something like this guy right here. When they get about 5 months old, they get a lot thicker. They put some size on. They have really nice color, pretty neat personality, and I just love working with these fish. I've been line breeding the German Blue Rams for about 3 years now, so they're doing pretty well. Eventually I might outcross them, but so far so good. They're super hardy for ram speaking, and they don't really get any special treatment. No RO water, just using my city tap water, pH around 6-8, something like that, and they get about a 50% water change once a week, depending on the amount of fish in the tank and the waste load. I'll wrap the video up here shortly, but I figure I'd end on some guppies because this was a guppy video. This tank's a little bit harder to see, but it's really cool, just variety of fancy guppies. So you get lots of color in here. I'm working on improving their tails, but I even have some nice albinos in here and different varieties. So they're pretty cool. Apologize for the glare. Let me turn the light off behind us, see if that helps. Definitely helped a little bit, but you can see all the color in these guys. Really just a rainbow effect, and that's my favorite type of guppy. Something with tons of color and ideally a nice big squared off tail, which I am working on, but these guys are still really fun to watch. Just swim around the tank, feed them, produce babies. You never know what you're really gonna get. You can see a few males chasing this female, and those are some of the albinos. But that like cobra pattern is just really nice. So thank you all for watching. Check out the website. Finally getting warm, starting to ship fish. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Appreciate any of your business and just watching the videos. That's plenty enough. If you want to comment below, just say hi or like the video. I appreciate that stuff. But thank you all for watching. Subscribe, like, stay tuned for the next video.